Star Wars, is Rian Johnson's trilogy still happening? Over the last couple of years, reports have alternated between confirming Johnson's trilogy and is a go and claiming it's been canceled. We know that the director turned down the opportunity to direct Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, but is he still booking a return trip to the galaxy far, far away? So maybe it might be that kind of like that betrayal of trust going on with like the new Star Wars franchise, but also at the same time Disney's like a big business, so it's not surprising that they go this route in terms of changing certain things in the story element and having to like reshape certain character dynamics and have to change certain plot elements that were true and sacred to the original trilogy. We're going to talk about specifically the Marvel Universe. We're going to keep jumping back and forth. And MCU scoop, why Marvel Studios is holding off on Avengers 5. With Avengers Endgame, MCU fans bid farewell to the righteous, shield-wielding Captain America and the billionaire philanthropist turned fatherly savior Tony Stark. The movie was an emotional, stirring, and action-packed saga that perfectly concluded long-standing character arcs, mashed up to be remembered. According to We Got This Covered, as well as a recent tweet from industry insider Daniel R.P.K., plans for an Avengers 5 movie do exist. However, the studio is holding off on the mashup, likely to shield the film from any significant expectation violations on to ensure if the release were sooner rather than later. And my theory is that Ultron will be the first person to do this, since like Spider-Man's shall we say Spider-Man's presence in the MCU is kind of like rocky at best. It's unstable. So I feel like the one person that could, or at least not one person, but the one being that could replace said person, like Norman Osborn, would probably be Ultron. Because Ultron is like that he's kind of like that recurring character that you could bring back at least one more time, because of how he has so many possibilities. Because technically, like Ultron can go into like the internet and like survive somehow as an AI for like a Starbucks, and then he comes back after the Avengers have been disassembled. Ultron will come back as some type of mechanical body and like take control of the Wakandan technology, and he will use that technology to kind of like free Namor and help Namor overthrow Black Panther. And then after they overthrow Black Panther, they're going to take over Wakanda for at least like a year or so. And during that time, Black Panther is going to be in hiding. And while he's in hiding, he's going to seek out, like he's going to be fighting like some like regular battles in Wakanda. He's going to try to help the people regardless. But my second theory, which comes into the Ultron theory, is that Black Panther will have to he's like so broken down, like kind of like Batman, like that storyline where he was like beaten up by Bane, where he has his back broken because he was fighting so many villains. That same thing might happen to Black Panther, like he was fighting so many people on like the streets of Wakanda, and all of a sudden, Ultron shows up out of nowhere and breaks his back, and then Black Panther is like kind of struggling in like the alleys of Wakanda. He's like he enters the ancestral plane in some way, shape, or form, and he talks to Killmonger, and he's like, hey man, there's this dude, he's not really a human, he's a robot, how do I stop him? He took over the world, not take over the world, but he's taking over like Wakanda, he's gonna use our technology to fight the Avengers, and then Killmonger might give him some inspirational advice. I feel like that'd be like the coolest sequel of all time, but I feel like that would be so huge. It would be so huge, it would be so big of a grand. I feel like that's like at least like one of the sequels. Maybe not the second one, but definitely the third one should be like Ultron takes over Wakanda. That in the movie episode 9 that we're gonna see in December, that since like Anakin Skywalker is like the perceived chosen one. He was the chosen one in the prequels. He's the chosen one in the originals. How he's gonna like defeat the Sith. He technically, was like the most powerful Jedi they had in the prequels, and he redeemed himself in the originals by defeating his master. And then I feel like it's circulating theory, but people kind of like they want it to be true, but I'm not sure about it. And my theory is that it's going to be Anakin Skywalker coming back as a Force ghost, you know, talking to Rey and Kylo, mostly talking to Kylo because that's his grandson. Talking to Kylo, you have Hayden Christensen come back as the character. He's talking to Kylo, he's like, look man, just stop this evil ways, this is too much, you know, why are you worshiping my helmet, this is weird. While Rey's struggling to fight Palpatine, and Kylo Ren tries to help out, but he gets defeated by Palpatine, and all of a sudden, you know, like a portal moment, like dun 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 dun, then all of a sudden, like the Force ghosts of Obi-Wan, Yoda, Qui-Gon Jinn, and then all of a sudden, in all white, Anakin Skywalker is the last person, you know, they all show up. And there's this concept that George Lucas had, in which in the original movies, his original idea for Force Ghosts was that after the Force Ghosts like completed their duty in the ghost plane, they can come back as regular people, kind of like Gandalf the White. They don't come back because they didn't, because like the ghost world didn't need them anymore, so they can come back as regular people. So they're technically immortal at that point. And it won't just be like regular Force Ghosts, to actually come back as actual beings. Like Luke Skywalker will come back, and Qui-Gon Jinn will come back, Yoda will come back, you know what I mean? And like even Anakin Skywalker comes back, all of them come back, you know, and let's say like, you know, like Qui-Gon Jinn like saves them, you know, he like hides Rey, and then Obi-Wan is with Anakin Skywalker, Yoda takes in Kylo Ren, and basically like they're hiding, and then Obi-Wan distracts Palpatine, and then the last person to actually fight off Palpatine will be a resurrected Anakin Skywalker, and he will actually fulfill like the huge arc that he was the chosen one, since they said, oh, he's chosen, he's gonna bring balance to the Force, he's gonna defeat the Sith.
This is what makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.